Hi, this is Karen from babyapplique.com. In this video lesson, I'm going to teach you some simple ways to embellish your finished applique projects. Now, as you can see, the appliques are already attached onto these pieces. Then once I was finished, I went around with embroidery floss. It comes like this from the fabric store. This one I used a contrasty darker so it stands out more, gives it a little bit more definition. This one it blends in more because it's the same blue as the whale. There's no right or wrong way. You can do whatever makes you happy. Now also, I went and used my embroidery floss and I put in eyes. These eyes are put in with French knots. Also put in buttons with French knots. And just went around all the pieces just to give it some definition. The whale got an eye and a mouth. There's no right or wrong color. Whatever you think is going to look good with your piece. Now, besides embroidery, you could also use little notions with it. Say you wanted an easy way to give the whale the look of being on water. This is called rickrack. You could go and sew on a piece of rickrack underneath, and it looks like there's waves going under him. You could also do the same thing with the duck. If you wanted waves under the duck, so it looks like it's on water, do the same thing. And then that's just sewn on with either the sewing machine or with needle and thread. Now, say you wanted a different look. Maybe you wanted the duck to look more feminine. You could give the duck a little lace wing. You could leave off that wing and in place of it, sew on a piece of lace. And then it looks like it has maybe feathers and it actually would have some movement to it. Or you could use the same lace for the look of water. And you could sew that on under the duck. Or if you just wanted to embellish the bib a little bit, you could put the lace around the top. And that gives the bib a whole different look, makes it look a little bit more feminine for a little girl. You could also put the lace look would work underneath the whale too. It's just whatever you like, whatever look you're trying to go for. Now, if you noticed on the bear I used ribbon. He has a little tie on. This is really simply done. Take your ribbon. I just went and tied a knot, just a simple overhand knot. And then just like tying a shoe, make 2 loops, loop it through. And then that's too big, so I want to pull those loops in just a little bit. And that gives you your tie. And then I went in the center, I sewed it into place. Just sewed it in a couple times. And then trimmed the edges so it's the right length. Now with that, make sure you sew it on tight, so if you pull on it, there's no way it's going to come off. There's no way it can untie. That way there's no way that the baby can choke on it. Now, what if you don't sew? If you don't sew and you don't like to put on the embroidery, you could use a product called fabric paint. In this case, I don't have a piece that's embroidered, but just take fabric paint. It comes in a little tube like this. It has a tip on the top. It's kind of like a pencil. All you need to do is gently squeeze it, and you can put on the same face that you did embroider. Just make your little eyes. Try not to get a point on it because that point will stay when it dries. And then we'll make a big nose for we'll just make the bear. And then we'll go up and make a mouth. And there, just as simple as that, you have a little face that you could have on your bear in place of that. Comes in all different colors, same as the embroidery floss, so you can definitely use whatever's going to work in your piece. Ribbon comes in spools like this. You can find it at any fabric store. Usually it's cheapest usually to buy it just in spools. It's cheapest just to buy it in spools. You can also buy lengths of it. Normally, if you're going to buy lace comes by the yard. It would be in big spools at the fabric store, and then you just tell them how much yardage you want. Rickrack also usually comes pre-packaged. It comes in all different colors. It also comes in a smaller width. You can also get ones that are variegated. So have fun with it. Find what's going to work with your project. There's no right or wrong way with applique. Be creative, and for more tips and tricks, please see my video at babyapplique.com.